If you play Kiriko, if you're new to Kiriko, if you want to try Kiriko, this might be the only video that you ever need to watch. Welcome to the Ultimate Kiriko Stadium Guide. Throughout this video, we're going to do a crash course on playing Kiri in Stadium, as well as go over different builds and explain why they are useful for your specific playstyle. Anyways, make sure to subscribe and please follow my Twitch. I'm live Monday through Friday starting around 10 AM CET. When you're playing Kiriko, there are a few things to keep in mind. Your positioning, your discipline, and your settings. Let's start off with your settings. First, you want to change your kunai to primary fire and your healing to secondary fire. When you have your healing set on primary fire, it encourages heal botting. You need to learn to stagger in damage with your healing. Kiri's kunai has a 0.5 second fire rate and her healing Ufada has a 0.9 second reload time, so you should be staggering in at least 2 kunai shots while Ufada is reloading. You are doing absolutely nothing for your team if you are only healing on Kiri. Kiri has insane DPS abilities as well as healing, so you should be taking advantage of her full kit. Next, change your healing Ufada off toggle. I know it sounds counterproductive to not throw all 10 at once, however, leaving this on can make Kiri vulnerable and stuck healing instead of being able to escape or defend herself. Next, let's go over some positioning. Kiri has 120 damage per second, so taking an off angle at the beginning of a fight to try and get a quick pick while also taking advantage of TPing back to a teammate is crucial. However, do not overcommit. You have a Suzu, but there is a slight delay on the TP if not timed correctly that can get you picked off almost immediately, which would set your team up for failure. The strongest part about Kiri is being able to dive in with one of your tanks or DPS and escape quickly while securing a pick or two, so follow your diving teammates. I promise your other support will be fine. You should never hang back and heal bot. Another thing you need to pay attention to is your teammates' ults. Knowing who to combo with and when can be game changing. A few examples of these are Soldier ult, Bob, Sojourn ult, Bastion turret form, and Reaper ult. These are the most effective to combine with. The biggest mistake I see Kiri players make is TPing without thinking ahead. If you see a TP crit, your first thought might be to TP to them and throw Suzu. However, you need to analyze where a safe teleport might be, and that might not even be a good option at all. But teleporting to your teammate and them still dying while you're left to face the whole team does not set the rest of your team up for success. You're better off alive and with the rest of your team than trying to save an overextending teammate. Possibly one of the most crucial things on Kiri's kit is her Suzu. You need to have Suzu discipline. It is hands down the best support ability in the game. Suzu gives you and whoever it hits in a 5 meter AoE 80 healing, no cleanse, or 110 healing with cleanse, and a 0.65 seconds of invulnerability. Suzu technically makes allies phased out, and immune to most negative effects and damage. Before you use your Suzu, you need to keep some things in mind. You need to take a look at the enemy team and find abilities you should save your Suzu for, such as On a Nade and Sleep and Ash Dynamite. Any one-shot potential and lingering effects you should save your Suzu for. You should also keep an eye out for potential enemy ults and estimate when they have them. Suzu can save you and your teammate from every ult. Most common or effective are D.Va, Mei, Illari, and Orisa. Having good and effective Suzu discipline can win you and your teammates games. And that's pretty much the basics of what you need to know about Kiri and how to play her effectively. Which leads me right into her Stadium builds. There's so many builds you can choose for Kiri on Stadium. My personal favorite builds are usually involving lots of weapon power. If you don't want to watch my whole round by round all the way through, here is the full build, but I do go through every single item, why you should buy what, and what you can buy in replacement if something really doesn't suit your playstyle. A lot of people might think that you are giving up a lot of healing potential with weapon power. However, it also powers your Ufada, so the more weapon power you have, the more healing you do. When building weapon power on Kiri, the powers are mostly up to you. If you find hitting headshots is easier for you, I would recommend King Kunai first. This reduces your active ability cooldowns and refunds ammo. If you're not so good at hitting headshots, I would recommend Clone Conjuration, as it takes the pressure of feeling like you need to heal 24/7 off your back. As far as items go, start with Compensator, Weapon Grease, and Armored Vest. Round 2, you're going to want to buy Farsight Focus Sash, and if you have extra, buy some random greens such as Power Playbook or First Aid Kit. Round 3 power should be Tuzu. If you find yourself flanking a lot, you could buy Fleetfoot, but Tuzu is overall the better choice in my opinion. Buying crit items early on is going to give you an edge, so if you can buy the closer, keep Farsight and sell the rest. Obviously, if you have some left over, fill with random greens, but with the price increase on the closer, it might be difficult. If you can't afford the closer, I recommend any of the blues with weapon power. I personally like Teammate Toolkit. Again, with the price changes, it might be hard to buy certain items, but if you can, round 4, buy Codebreaker. This gives you a massive edge on shredding tanks and anyone building armor. If you can't afford it, Talon Modification Module or Icy Coolant is a great option. Round 5, Crossing Guard is a great power. This slows enemies in your ult, which gives you an opportunity for picks. Another option if you don't find yourself farming ults quickly is Foxy Firework. This gives you 3 explosive kunais after reloading, which can be useful for shutting down tanks. However, if you find your team struggling with healing overall, Leaf on the Wind is a good option. For items, I recommend Amari's Antidote. It boosts your team play and weapon power. Round 6, you're going to replace Talon and Farsight for Elsaka Suppressor and Spirit's Guidance. If you can only take one, buy the Suppressor and keep Farsight. And for your final power, if you haven't already bought it, Clone Conjuration. If you did end up buying it first round because of your lack in the crit department, I recommend Triple Threat. If you have enough money, Eye of the Spider is the best option for your items. You can also grab Donut Delivery or Talisman of Life for a little last round survivability. Overall, building weapon power is very flexible, and you can tailor it to your specific playstyle. The second build I recommend doing or trying is actually build from Emong and Kaofi. As far as building straight ability power or attack speed, I really don't find it as useful as a weapon power build or a balanced build like Emong's. Your round 1 power is going to be Tuzu. It's very important, this will build your ult really fast. Items are Compensator, Weapon Grease, and Armored Vest. Round 2, Spirit's Guidance is preferred, so sell everything and just run this if needed. If you don't have enough, buy Teamwork Toolkit or Farsight Focus Sash and stack on some green items if you have extra. Round 3, Power is Self-Care. This is a very good survival power to have. Items this round are going to be Talisman of Velocity and Aftermarket Firing Pin. However, if you are broke, you can buy Farsight Focus Sash or Icy Coolant instead of Aftermarket Firing Pin. Round 4, grab Talisman of Life or Talisman of Velocity if you haven't yet. Round 5 power is Cleansing Charge, and just like the previous rounds, you are going to want to buy Talisman of Life and Velocity. Cleansing Charge allows you to convert Suzu into Kitsune Charge, so it's very important to power up Suzu. An important thing to consider is selling Farsight for Eye of the Yokai if you need to extend Kitsune. Round 6, buy Hardlight Accelerator for weapon power and cooldown reduction. If you have some extra cash, buy 3-tap Tommy Gun or Salvage Slugs, depending on what you prefer. If possible, just buy Eye of the Spider for more consistent damage. And finally, round 7, if you make it that far, finish off with Crossing Guard. This slows enemies, which is really good to combine with Eye of the Yokai. And if you didn't previously buy it, get Eye of the Spider as your final item. And your final build should look something like this. This build definitely focuses on Suzu and Kitsune build speed, and I know that there's probably hundreds of Kiri builds out there, but these are personally just the 2 that I have found the most effective. And a really great resource to try builds is stadiumbuilds.io. You guys should check it out. Not sponsored, by the way, it's just a really great resource, okay? So try these builds and let me know what you think, and have fun slaying in Stadium!